Hello guys and girls, and welcome to a TryHard Mists of Pandaria guide. So we'll be discussing how to get your Windwalker Monk prepared for raiding. We'll be going over things such as hit caps, stat priorities, best in slot 5-man heroic gearing locations, and we'll go over some food and flask buffs as well, which ones you should be using. So let's get started. Alright, just before we get started, just want to say a couple things. If you have a look on the top of the menu, or top of the screen, there will be a interactive menu you can click. So if you're getting bored of listening to hit and expertise caps, you're getting bored of listening to stat priority, you can click on that and go to gearing or whatever you want to do. It's up there to use, so go for it. And another thing is, this guide won't show you how to DPS on your monk. That will be the next guide, which will actually be rotations, and it'll show you some tips and tricks for certain bosses, etc. So let's get started with hit caps. I find while aiming for, preparing to raid, your hit caps are your most important thing on a monk, mainly because if you miss a jab or expel harm, you're in a lot of trouble with your chi generation, and it's not good for anybody. So yeah, let's get started. So the hit and expertise cap is 7.5%. That works out as 340 per 1%. You need a total of 2,550 hit and expertise. It works the exact same, 2,550 to reach cap. When you've reached cap, that's your ideal state. You want to be cap. You don't want to be too much over it. If you're a bit under it, it's okay. I normally go maybe to the 0.00 if I can. As you can see here, it's 0.008. It's not gonna be that dramatic of a difference. You'll never notice it. So anyways, if you're Alliance or Horde, your cap remains at 2,550. Now, if you're Alliance with a Draenei in the party, your hit cap goes down by 330 to 2,000, or sorry, 340 even, to 2,210. So if you have a Draenei in the party, it removes 1% hits to 6.5% hit, which equals 2,210. It'll all be on the screen for you. You can write it down if you want. Now, if you are a human with swords and maces, you get the expertise talent, lowering your expertise by 1%, bringing it down to 2,210 again, with the 340 removed. And also, if you're an orc using axes or fist weapons, it goes down by the 340 to 2,210. So this is kind of your main priority while getting ready for raiding, is hitting these caps. It's the most vital kind of stat you want when you enter a raid. If you don't enter a raid with 7.5% on both, it's not going to be good for your DPS, and yeah, you're not going to be too happy with your damage output. So let's move on to actual reforging and how to reforge your gear, and how to gem it as well, because I'm seeing lots of monks doing some crazy things, and I think it would be nice to get out there what the hell you should be doing. So let's get started with that. Alright, so let's talk about stats here. I've created a stat priority list, and I'll kind of explain why I've created it this way afterwards. So hits and expertise are equal until cap. Once that's been reached, you go for agility over haste, haste over critical hit over mastery. Now, the reason I've said agility over haste is, I've been raiding all week and things like that. I've tried both pretty extensively, and I've had much more success with agility. Based on logs and World of Logs and things, it's the exact same apparently. Like, I've seen rank 1s with both. I've hit a rank 2 with agility, so it's just the way I'm showing you how to do it, and I personally feel it's the best. So I'll go over kind of how you can apply these stats to your gear effectively in terms of forging and gemming. So while you're reforging, obviously you want to reforge everything you can towards haste once you've hit your kind of expertise and hit caps. Now, the reason you go towards haste is because that's your most valuable stat of haste, mastery, and critical hit. So your ideal item, your perfect item, has haste and hit or expertise. So haste plus hit or expertise. That's your perfect item. That's exactly what you want on gear. It's hitting your caps while maintaining your best stat. Now, if you get a piece of gear with, let's say, the two worst stats, critical hit and mastery, you want to reforge out the mastery towards your hit cap or towards haste if you're hit capped. Reason being is obviously critical hit is better than mastery. Now, if you get a piece of gear that has hit and critical hit or mastery, you want to, let me see if I can actually find one here for you. Here you go, hit, critical hit, or expertise, sorry. Or, yeah, hit, expertise. Hit, critical hit, or mastery. You want to reforge out the critical hit or mastery towards haste. You always want to reforge out the worst two stats, which are critical hit and mastery, mastery being the worst, towards haste or hit. You never want to reforge out towards critical hit or mastery unless you've hit the cap and that item already has haste, and you already. So I'll show you an example. Here you go. There you go. So I'm hit cap there easily. So I reforged out the hit towards critical hit because that's my second best stat between mastery and critical hit. Following this kind of formula, always making sure you're hit capped, you'll maintain maximum haste value. Now, talking about gems and things like that, you see lots of people forging towards straight haste. I don't believe in that. I'm going straight agility in my red sockets, and then in my yellow sockets I'm going for deft gems. Deft is the agility haste gems. Now, in terms of set bonuses, no matter what the set bonus, even if the set bonus is 30 agility, which probably doesn't exist, you're still going to want to go for agility and haste, because that haste value will boost it up a bit more. Like even if you're losing 20 agility for 160 haste, it's worth it. Now, I don't have any blue slots to show you, but blue slots, if you're not hit capped, you should always be going towards. Oh, I do have one. There you go. So if you're hit capped, you should always use your blue slots, or you're not hit capped, you should use your blue slots towards agility and hit and expertise gems. If you are hit capped, just go straight agility, because you're not gaining any haste off that second slot or kind of second bonus from the gem. So if it's a blue socket and you're hit capped, don't put anything in it but straight up agility gem. If you aren't hit capped, go towards a expertise or hit, whatever's kind of necessary for you. This is a lot easier to hit these caps with an Orc or a Draenei in the group, etc., but they're not too hard to achieve with full best in slot heroic gear. Not at all. Even if you don't have full best in slot heroic 5-man gear, it's super easy to hit, so you won't have too much of a problem. So that's about it for stats. I've posted it all kind of on the screen just so you can take notes and things like that, because it's a bit hard to listen to me blab on all the time. Now, I kind of want to go on to the best in slot 5-man heroic gearing list. Now, this list will just be kind of where to find each slot of gear in 5-man heroics. It won't show any of the justice or valor gear. That will be showed in a link below. Don't want to make the video too long for you guys. So yeah, let's move on to that. Oh, and actually one more thing I just wanted to add in is about the actual enchants you want to go for. Now, with enchants, the best ones at the moment are 80 dwell stats on chest. You have your 200 agility and 100 critical strike on shoulders. I'll link the names up kind of on the screen for you guys, by the way. Now, bracers, you can't get hold of this yet as of now. It's pretty early in the expansion, but there is a straight up agility. I think it's about 180 agility or something like that on bracers, or maybe it's 200. That's not out yet because no one has the patterns for the rep yet, but that's coming out. Now, weapons, the current best again is Windsong, which adds 1,500 to each stat, or to one stat. So it could be haste, mastery, or critical hit, chance on hit. Now there is one coming out which increases your agility by about roughly the same amount, 1,500 I think it was, which will be the best obviously, but again, not out due to the kind of enchanters not being able to get the patterns yet. Gloves, you can get straight up haste, 170 haste. Belt, you want to put your belt buckle in, go straight agility. Legs, there is a better enchant than that, but I'm not putting it on these. I think it's 250 agility or something similar to that. Don't quote me on that. Boots, this is what you really want to go for, is the 140 agility plus minor speed increase. Reason being is mobility in raids is everything on some bosses. So yeah. Rings, obviously if you're an enchanter, etc. So yeah, that's about it for the enchants. They removed the cloak enchant is 180 hits, which is the best one out at the moment for monks. Now, Helm, they removed Helm enchants expansion, so I don't know if anyone noticed or not. It took me like a few days to notice. I'm like, where are the Helm enchants? Okay, they're not here, I guess. I had to ask around, but yeah. So that's it for the enchants. Sorry, I missed that bit out, but yeah. Let's move on to the best in slot heroic gearing list now. Okay guys, so once you're fully prepared to raid, you have your best in slot 5-man heroic gear, and you're all hit capped out, and all of your stats are perfectly, everything's enchanted. Last thing you want to sort out is your consumables. Very basic stuff, obviously. I don't even really need to go over it, but it's just going over some of the names for you. So the flask you'll be using will be Flask of Spring Blossoms. Food, I personally use Valley Stir Fry, mainly because the other food is way too expensive. The other food is called, I think it was... let me have a look here. I think it was Sea Mist Rice Noodles. That's a 300 agility food. And personally, I found that way too expensive. It was like 60 gold a piece on my server or something. So it'd be like 1,200 a stack for an extra 50 stats for my panda. But yeah, anyway, so Vermin's Bite will be the pot you want to be pre-potting with and using during Bloodlust. That's 4,000 agility for 25 seconds. So it's pretty intense as a DPS boost. I think it's about... I don't know, like a 20% damage increase or something for 25 seconds, so he can't really complain. Alright guys, that about covers it for preparing your monk to raid. Let's talk about some future guides I'm going to be doing. That's it for today's guide. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and like. If you want more Mists of Pandaria content, I have the Monk DPS guide coming out very shortly, along with lots of Disc Priest stuff. I have every single heroic boss guide coming out. Obviously, as my guild kills them, we're going to start this week, so it's pretty exciting. But yeah, hopefully you found this very, very helpful, and keep watching. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.